Ey. Debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve, debí darte más besos y abrazos las veces te pude. Oh, fuck it. I don't even know. What up? We here. Another episode of the You Still Up Show. It's your boy, Gamer Ass Gamer. And, today is a special day. It's a special day in the history of the show, special day in life because this is really the first episode. This is the beginning. This is the new beginning of the show. You know, we had 35 great episodes with me and your boy Lux, and now we're getting into some new shit. Cause, well, I'll just tell you that nigga quit. Now let him tell it. It's a whole, this and that, but he quit. So, it's just me now. And in a way that's freeing. It's freeing to say, damn, this is I'm the captain. This is my ship. Live or die, it's mine. And so, but we're gonna get, we're not gonna go too crazy, business as usual. We're here to talk about games, gyms, and grown man nonsense. That's what the show's always been about. We didn't do games because one of us didn't play games. So now we can get back into that. What I really wanted the show to be was gaming focused. So it's not it does suck that I think I told him at least a year. Just give me 365 days and go from there. And he gave me 9. He gave me 9 months. So, yeah, well, yeah, so, yeah, he's fine. He carried the baby and then he, came out and that was it. So, that's fine. But this show, today's episode, it's gonna be mostly about bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a lot of bullshit. It's gonna be a lot of shit I had on my mind. But mostly we're gonna talk about Raven-Symone. Okay? Raven. If you could see into the future, you know, and everything Raven was about, because lately I've been feeling like Raven, yo. I've been feeling like, damn, I saw all this happening. I saw I saw all of this. Every I hoped, how Raven she'll see she'll see something and then it'll be like, damn, I gotta prevent this. And then usually it happens, right? In some nutty way, right? And I was really raving for a long time thinking that, damn, hopefully I can get a year out of him, but it probably ain't gonna happen. But we gonna try, you know? And it's got me feeling like that's so Raven, but also Cheetah Girl's Raven too, because damn, I'm the only one thinking about the show. Everybody else got this and that going on. I'm thinking about the show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And but you know, I'm basically Raven and he's the other 3, but that's okay because I say it's all love. It's all love. It's all love. But it does suck to I'm out here. What the whole point of the show, man. I'm gonna be real with you. The whole point of the show was to be a conversation between friends. That's really what I wanted the show to be. But I wanted it to be uh substantial enough to where we could say like, oh, we really talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? We really talking about shit. And when you don't want to get personal, you don't want to get introspective, and you're not really doing a lot of extrospective things, you're not doing a lot of substantial things on the outside, then it's like, damn, what can we really talk about? And I can't say too much because we still did record an episode. We got another episode coming out on later this week, that's gonna get me into the what I want to do for the show going forward. We got another episode coming out that's already been recorded, that's gonna come out later this week. And then from there, next week, we're going into 2 episodes a week. It's gonna be 2 episodes, but just me. I mean, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be me talking about games, talking about bullshit, talking about gyms and shit. But it's gonna be a lot of, I tried to have it to where each season was a new format, but I really think we're gonna have to push that up. And I think, next week is gonna be a different format. It's gonna be a different set of rules because, you know, shit, control was taken away from me. I couldn't, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah. So basically, the show now. Let's talk about the show. Let's talk about what the show is gonna be like. Because like I said, originally it was supposed to be games, gyms, and grown man nonsense. But uh, what really was happening was that it was being dictated by what we could bring to it and not what we want to bring to it. The show had turned into, damn, can we do this? Can we do that? Instead of, no, 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 we gotta do this. We gotta push ourselves to make something that we want to make, not just, damn, well, what can we do today? What can we do this week? So it's gonna be a lot more experimenting with, like, because right now, no one's listening to this shit. So it's gonna be a lot of experimentation. I want to do a lot of experimentation, a lot of figuring out like what works and what doesn't work. And every episode, I'm gonna try to do something new and just see what feels good because, you know, without now that it's just one nigga, I mean, shit, I really gotta turn this motherfucker up. You know what I'm saying? The heat gotta be hot. I can't just be some bullshit. So I really gotta hone in on what the format of the show is and what it's gonna be every week. And you know, it can't just be whatever I'm thinking about. It's gotta be, all right, I'm coming into it with something that I wanna do that's new, something I wanna do that's different. So that's what we're gonna do. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. Shit. I mean, yeah, I'm still thinking about them. It's just me now, so another thing about the show is that even though we were doing it every week, bro, it was actually draining my energy to come in and do it because I felt like we weren't getting nothing done. Yeah, I felt like we would come in every week and it was like da 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 da. All right, peace. And that's not bad when you can see it going for a long time, but you know that wasn't the case. So now it's like I'm feeling good about what what I can do to the show and for the show. I think as far as the format and what we talking about, I think it's gonna be a lot easier to figure that out because I'm the only one who's really thinking about it. Ain't nobody else really bringing shit to the table. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. It's gonna be a lot of that. I think I'm feeling good about the energy and the fact that there's gonna be a lot more experimentation. It's gonna be a lot of raw, uncensored takes. Before I was tiptoeing. I was trying to make sure everybody good. Yeah, everybody feeling good about what we talking about. But now, it's about to get into some real honest shit, and some you know, real opinions that I mean, it's just me. I can't say that enough. It's just me. So getting comfortable and everything, I have a choice. I don't have a choice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, this week is just gonna be a lot of explaining and a lot of we might get into some I'll probably get into some light topics later on. But then, like I said, gaming. We're gonna be doing a lot more gaming takes. Like, it ain't gonna be just. I don't want the show to be too gaming because it was never that. It was never that. But I do think the majority of the show is gonna be focused on games because that's what I always wanted it to be. Now I don't have a second mic. Telling me, oh, go off of your energy. It's just my energy now. So my energy is gonna be gaming. There's gonna be a lot of, I think, topics about what's going on in gaming. We got the state of play coming up this week, so probably talk about that next week. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be things like that where I can really get into my gaming takes and shit. So that will be a big focus of the show going forward. Like I said, back to the original vision. It's like, you know, like I said, the original vision was always gaming and then just talking about shit in life that makes you think, like just shit that makes you go, oh shit. So yeah, that's gonna be part of the show as well. Like I said, games, gyms, and grown man nonsense. That's gonna be the show. So um another thing is audio versus video. We were doing video. A lot of the shit we were doing was uh not my idea. It was suggested, and I was like, all right, fuck it. But until the end of the season, we got like what, two more episodes until the end of the season, two, three. It's gonna be audio only because the next episode that I did that we did with Lux is gonna be audio only, and then however ever many episodes, I think we got two more episodes left. Those are gonna be audio only as well, just because I really don't know how to talk on a camera. I ain't got that part down yet. The talking to the camera alone shit is that's actually hard. Like, when you see people doing that shit online, that shit ain't easy, dude. It is not easy to look at a camera and pretend like it's a human being. That is not easy. That is not easy at all. So yeah, that's something I gotta work on. So and also I think the audio could be better. I think we could do more with the audio as well. So it's gonna be audio only just until we get to the point where we can say, "Oh yeah, 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 this is good, this is good." Um, Next season's gonna be live. I might even do live next episode, but I don't know yet. But I really want it to be a live show. But the thing about it being live is that it's gotta be interesting. It can't just be my name's Gamer Ass Gamer, and we're talking about games. It can't be that. That ain't gonna work. I wouldn't watch that. So it's gotta be magnetic. It's gotta be a good amount of energy. You know, the show only being an hour long, that's something that I didn't originally want. I wanted it to be a little longer, but I think that's actually good. I think for what we got going on, an hour is a good length for the show. So get in and get out type shit. So yeah, that'll be good. Like I said, 2 episodes a week. We're gonna try to do 2. That's just because I want more. I wanna do more. Like I'm not I was never comfortable I was never truly comfortable just doing 1 episode. That was some shit I agreed to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit was under agreement. You know what I mean? So I think I wasn't sure how many episodes I wanted to do, but I wanted it to be more than one. So we're gonna try 2 episodes a week and just kind of see how that goes. And like I said, the show is gonna be a lot more experimental going forward. We did have a nice little flow, nice little rhythm, but hey, nigga, hey. Motherfuckers wanted to leave. Yeah, I mean, what can I do? I'm not going. That's the thing, bro. You can't force somebody to do something. Even if you in your head, you like, damn, I see I know if I just push him in this direction and I can see it. You can't force somebody to do something, bro. You gotta, because that's just gonna create resentment. You gotta create an environment where somebody can say, all right, I see what you, okay, I got you, I got you, I got you. If they don't want to get you, it's gone. You can't force somebody to do something. But I did, everything I did with the show up until this point was intentional. This is the real this is the first big unpredictable thing. I mean, even though I thought it would end, I didn't think it would end this way. Like, I'm gonna be honest, bro left the show in the worst way, bro. He literally hit me up the day we were recording, was like, "Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm done, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna stop." I was like, "Huh?" So, so it was fucked up, but it was like shit, I mean, what am I gonna do? I can't force him to stay, so it ain't gonna, you can't force somebody to keep going on something that they just, can't, you know, can't continue to do. It's like Padme said, this is the path I cannot follow. You can't follow, if you don't want to follow, you can't follow. So fuck it. you know? Um, yeah, I just think sometimes you just gotta go lonely, bro. You gotta go alone, bro. In life, there's always gonna be times where you gotta go alone. You know, what you gonna do? Say, nah, man, I'm scared, I can't, you know? I can't, so lonely. You gonna sing or you gonna, man, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, saying? Fuck it. So I just decided, fuck it. Look, like I said, I'm Raven-Symone, bro. I'm Raven-Symone. He the other three. He the what you call it? 3LW. He them. I'm Raven. I saw the future. I tried to prevent it. It happened anyway. And now I'm going solo. So it it is what it is. You know what I mean? And we'll always be cheetah girls, but I gotta go alone. You know what I mean? Like I said, and you're gonna hear this in the next episode. He explained his reasons for leaving and everything, and I sat there and listened, but his main thing was anxiety, and it's like, bro, we all got anxiety. Anxiety is a part of life. Even debilitating anxiety is still it's anxiety. You gotta push through anxiety. You can't let anxiety push you. You know, that's really it. But like I said, it's all love. It's all love. It's all, you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be that. Anyway, let's get into the show. Now, you know what I want to start off with? Bro, I was on YouTube. The amount of ads on YouTube, I don't even understand how. Let me start off by saying I got the ad-free hookup. I'm on Android, so I got the side app. Okay. I don't even know if I'm putting this on YouTube. I don't even know if I should be saying this right now, but I'm not, I'm not suffering, but I think I was like on a computer or something, like a public computer, and so I had to deal with ads, and I was like, bro, there, I, I don't even think there was a moment where I wasn't like watching an ad, like the video played, and then it was like on the side, it was like ad coming up. I was like, okay, well, shit, all right. Then the ad played and it didn't stop. I was like, damn. So like, how you got to hit the skip ad button. I just like let it play, and it didn't end. The ad just kept going. And I'm like, who 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 watches this? Who just sit there and watch ads? I can't stand ads, bro. And I'm just like, damn, I had YouTube Premium for a long time. YouTube Premium, it was good. It was good. Um, but damn, I've actually had YouTube Premium for a long time. And I was like, damn, I didn't know this is what was really going on without. I mean, I don't even know how you would even use YouTube without premium. Like, and I thought Twitch was bad. That's the reason you know, I was putting the podcast on YouTube because I thought, oh well, the ads won't be that bad. This shit really bad. It's just as bad as Twitch. Bro, if you gotta deal with ads, bro, I I honestly, if I didn't have a if I didn't have a way to get around the ads, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I wouldn't be on there. I wouldn't be on Twitch. I wouldn't be on none of that because they're so intrusive, bro. Like they're literally the majority of what you're watching is ads. That shit is crazy, dude. Mm. Anyway, let's talk about my week, bro. So actually, my week was pretty. I wouldn't say it was the craziest thing in the world, but one thing I've been trying to get into is winter sports. I've been trying to learn how to snowboard and shit. First thing in my mind when I was getting the snowboarding gear is like, you ever watch that movie? What's that movie? I think it was Candyman. Candyman, and there was a scene where this black dude was like, black people don't need to be summoning. Yeah, we don't need to be doing no summoning. That's how I felt when I got on the snowboard. I was like, and I haven't actually gone, so I just put the gear on. I got on the snowboard. I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, black people don't need to be snowboarding because this shit. Which one of us did this? Like, when is a black? I don't know if I've ever seen a black person snowboard. I think I need to, start looking for that on YouTube. black people snowboarding because that shit felt unusual. That shit felt like maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Nah, I got on that snowboard and I was like, well, I said I was gonna do it. And the reason I said I was gonna do it is because, in life as a man, you just do things on the offhand that you might get some cheeks. Like, it really ain't even something that you was like really set on doing, but a pair of cheeks asked you to try it. You it could have been anyone in the world. Your homeboy could have asked you, your mom, your family, your friends could have. No, I ain't what the hell I look like. Black people don't need to be doing that. But if it's someone that you is there a chance I might be able to smash? Yeah, do you wanna go snowboarding? I love it. Ah, shit. Well, shit, let me try. You know what I mean? What I gotta do? Where I gotta sign up? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the shit I feel like that be going through a lot of straight men's head is, well, I don't want to do this, but cheeks. Cheeks are if cheeks are involved, it might be something. It might be something to it. I don't know. So I'm a, so later so later this month I'm gonna try snowboard, but it doesn't seem like something that I mean, listen, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I actually got another male friend that's gonna go. So even if I don't get the cheeks, it should be fun. I don't know. I have to keep y'all updated on that. Um, I've been seeing a lot of lately. Like, so I watched the Super Bowl. Well, actually, not. Let me not even lie. I didn't watch. I watched the halftime show of the Super Bowl, but in watching that, it's like first of all, the halftime show was pretty good. That was pretty good. It wasn't the greatest show, but it was pretty good. And apparently there was another show for white people, for country, for MAGA, right? Let's just say it was for MAGA, and bro, how ridiculous, bro. It's so immature, bro. It's just that was my one takeaway because I saw the clips. I saw the shit where they singing country songs, the Kid Rock lip singing it. It's just childish to me. Like, what is this? What is this about? Like, what part of this is American? You think it's American to sing country songs and be mad about Spanish people and goddamn whatever the hell you mad about? Like, you think is that American? Like, is it the most American thing you could do to drink a beer and listen to country? Is that American? Is it like like when we think about what makes an American, is that really it? I don't know if that is. I don't know if drinking a beer and getting on down. I don't know if that's really the most American thing. I feel like if you were trying to showcase America, you would have tried to do something else, bro. Not just sitting around. It's almost like they don't notice how much of a victim they are. You're just sitting around being a victim the whole damn it. I can get canceled if I just say out a boy's a boy and a girl's a girl. Bro, you're a victim. That's what you are. You're not stating the truth. You're victimizing yourself. It's that victim mindset that I just feel like how is so much of the country like this? Like how do y'all yeah. How y'all okay with just being victims? I don't understand that. You know? And then they love to say who outside of them is a victim, who outside of them is sensitive. Y'all be the most sensitive one. Why couldn't y'all just watch the Super Bowl and be like, "Ah, shit, this is weird, but let me get to the next quarter." You know what I'm saying? Like you could. Why'd you have to go make another show in a parallel world with just y'all in it? Like what? How silly! It's just silly shit, bro. It's like, damn. Even if I believed in some of the shit they believe in, I wouldn't want to identify with them. I wouldn't want to be in the same room with some of these people. You got Kid Rock making a fool of himself. I wouldn't even if I did support Ice, I wouldn't even want to be in a room with these. What is this motherfucker lip singing? An old ass song. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? You ain't memorized the song by now? What are you lip singing for? You know? Anyway. Yeah, like I said, I think like what was the main slogan of the show? Love. The only thing stronger than hate is love. And that's real, bro. That's really real. Because I know a lot of people that they first they first thought the thing to do is hate. Just hating on shit. It's like, what are you hating on? You know, I feel like there's a large part of America that's just not like me. Or anyone that I know, really. And we just going back and forth with them. Like, man. Sometimes it be having me thinking, bro, just wind the Civil War up, bro. What started the Civil War back in the day? Just go ahead and figure it out, man. Go ahead and figure out how to get it started, bro. Cause we wasting time. Cause it ain't gonna never stop. Like we're gonna be going head to head with them until something happens where we gotta say no, 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 no. One of us won. Shut y'all asses up. We won. You know, it's just gonna keep going back and forth. Little microaggressions, little spark ups like January 6th and shit. And it's never gonna get to the point where we can definitively say, y'all need to go away now. Like the Confederacy. Right? Y'all need to go back in your little corner and just plot amongst yourselves now. You know, like we ain't gonna have that moment unless somebody decides I'm Iron Man, that's Captain America, and we at it now. You know, like let's go ahead and get our Iron Man up. They get their Captain America, and we just settle this shit up. Cause I'm tired of this shit. The shit really getting burnt out, bro. I'm just tired of hearing about them doing shit. And then with the ice, I think I saw an interview with Gus from Breaking Bad. What's the actor's name, man? He's got like a Spanish name. Giancarlo Esposito. And he was like, hey, uh, there will be a revolution. The revolution is coming. And I was like, damn, I hope so. Cause I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of like having to quantify them. And this sounds crazy, bro. Sounds crazy. But I'm tired of having to quantify like ridiculousness. Like it's just ridiculousness. You know, ridiculous. But I just be like, damn, man, let's just get the Civil War, let's get the muskets and the ratchets or the hatchets and whatever. Let's just go ahead and, hash it out. Cause this shit is burnt out, bro. It's super burnt out. Anyway, I feel like every person, I was talking to this dude about meeting new people. And he was like, we were about to go somewhere that we don't normally go. And he was like, I don't want to go. Why you want to go there? And I was like, "Oh, what's your name? Said he's gonna be there. You got for some friends going out there." I was like, "Oh, you talked to him?" He was like, "You talked to him? Oh, you hang out with him?" I was like, "Yeah, he's, you know what I'm saying? He's weird." What do you mean he's weird? And it's like, bro, I mean, I think he's weird too. The person that invited us is weird. They're a weird person, right? But what if he knows people that are cool? What if he has a friend or two that's cute? Or what if through him inviting us there, we're exposed to something that we never would have done or seen without him introducing us. I feel like, you know, especially dating wise, a lot of people are just too quick to write other people off, bro. Like, if you meet somebody and they're just like, mm, not attractive to you. They're not the most interesting person. They're kind of missing things that you would normally consider worthwhile. It doesn't mean that they're just not worth your time. You know, every person is a planet. I was talking to this one girl, and we were talking about just shit we're doing this month. And eventually and I had just met this girl, so eventually the conversation just turned to like, "What do you like doing?" And I asked her, I was like, uh, "Do you like what kind of you know any good bars around here?" And she goes, "Oh no, I don't drink." You could just tell her attitude was like, "This motherfucker is a drunk talking to me. I'm talking to a drunk." And I was like, "Oh damn," thinking that we could continue to talk about some other thing, but you could tell the look on her face was like, "I will never allow myself to associate with a drinker." You could tell her vibe, her energy just shifted after I said that. No, I was like, I should have said. Now, to be fair, I should have said, well, I'm a drinker, so I said what I said. But I could have said, "Do you like restaurants?" I could have eased it in. But it's like, if someone told me I don't drink, I wouldn't go, "Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I'm good." I would just go, "Okay, well, damn. Let me talk to you on a lower level because I know that you're not gonna be on, where I'm at, you know? Let me just talk to you on a non-alcoholic virgin level, right?" And it's like that. I think that's the way to. I mean, look, every person is a planet, bro. Every person, even if look, every person's a planet and you're an astronaut. You know what I'm saying? You might have just landed on the wrong side of their planet. You might have just met them on a weird time in their life. 5 years from now, she might pick up a drink. She might have something tragic happen to her. She start drinking. God forbid, but I'm just saying she might. So now I'm judging her based off old information. You can't be so quick to write people off, bro. Like, you know, like I said, every person's a planet. Like, so you land on one side of the planet and you like, oh hell no. And then you get back in your spaceship and fly off. You look back, you might see some shit on the other side, like, oh damn, I didn't know that was over there. But I'm gone now. I'm back in space. You didn't even get time to really see the other side of their planet. Now people got a lot of shit going on, bro. But you know, that, I just think that's just crazy to write somebody off of one or two superficial things. You know, I hate that. I hate when people are just like, yeah, I don't talk to them anymore. Yeah, they're just really into comic books. I don't really like that. It's like, motherfucker, that's one thing. What kind of comic books are they reading? Is it some crazy shit? Or is it just comic? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would that be the thing that you're just done with? You know? I don't understand that. Anyway, it's just let's get into the news of the week, right? Now, there ain't a lot of news that I particularly feel like talking about. But in gaming, the one thing that was announced earlier this month that I really, really, really cannot wait for, at least to try, is that new Horizon game. The Horizon Hunters Gathering. That shit looks so fun. And of course, you got people hating on it because it ain't Horizon. It definitely ain't Horizon. I mean, it's not what we come to know about Horizon, but who cares? Is it gonna be good or not? That's all I care about. Is it is it gonna be deep? Because it's a multiplayer only game, so it's gotta have a lot, you know, it's gotta be deep. That's just really it. I mean, I think they said it's gonna have a story mode. It's a 3-player co-op uh hunting game, like Elden Ring, Night Ring. where your whole goal is to loot up, get to the end of the center of the circle, and then there's a boss in the middle, right? So it's not a I mean, super original concept. It's kind of just something that's, you know, been done before, right? But with Horizon on it. And it's like, this shit sounds fun. It looks amazing. It sounds fun. But if it ain't deep, then it ain't gonna be worth buying. And that's the real ticket. If you put out something that is not deep and it's limited in the terms of like what we were expecting from it, then that's when you run into some shit where it's like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. I'm not buying that. And it definitely ain't gonna be free. It definitely ain't gonna be free. So it's like they really gotta do something unique with this one. They really gotta do something unique, bro. And I'm looking forward to that play test because I wanna find out. I really wanna find out. So that was the big news that I was like, damn, I can't wait. And then later this week you got the state of play. I mean, I'm looking forward to the state of play. I think it's gonna be good. I mean, it's 60 minutes long, so there will be something. Okay, they're gonna have something that I like in it as a PlayStation gamer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Am I gonna watch it? Is probably not. I'm probably not gonna watch it. Okay. I'll probably catch the highlights. I mean, I don't know. I might watch it, but who knows? Um, but that'll be good. And then next week, you got High on Life 2 coming out. Bro, I've been waiting on High on Life 2 for so long. I can't wait for this game, bro. High on Life 1 was it was a good first try. It was funny as hell, but there was a lot of shit missing that I was like, uh, mm. I mean, the games are essentially Doom. It's Doom. It's Doom, but with comedy. And I was like, playing it, and I was like, "Ooh, well, this is not as deep as Doom." So it's kinda awkward to play it for a long period of time. So I think this next game is looking like it looks a lot deeper than the first one. And I mean, I'm guessing it's still gonna be funny even without the uh the uh the nigga from Rick and Morty doing a voice. I mean, they got rid of him. You know what happened to him. But hopefully it's still just as funny. I mean, I don't think he was responsible for a lot of the writing. I think the writing was the same people. So but like I said, I can't wait for that game. That game and Forza Horizon 6 are my two. I mean, those are really the only two games I really know about from Xbox. I mean, I don't really know what else they got going on. I mean, that's Game Pass, really. It's more so Game Pass than Xbox. But so yeah, those should be both, I'm looking forward to both of those games. You know. Yeah. Let's talk about music. Now, we talked me and Lux talked about this on the other episode we recorded, but I want to talk about this J. Cole album a little bit more, right? Now, you know, the thing about this album is that this was supposed to be his last one. I mean, it might be. I mean, I doubt it, right? But you're billing it as your last album. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for this to be your last album, bruh, ain't no way you thought this was gonna be. There's no way you put this out w- with the idea that like this this is what I want people to think about when they think of Cole. There ain't no way, bro. There just ain't no way. Like the off season is what I would think about. Forest Hills Drive is what I'm not thinking about the fall off. And I don't think that was intentional. I think shit happened in his life with the beef, all that. that changed the course of what this album was gonna be. It was always planned. I think he always planned on having it, ever since he put out the come up, but um I don't think it was meant to sound like this. It don't sound like an album that is your last album. That shit sounded, the first disc is fire. Got hella bangers, hella you know, the best song on the album is Will We Survive the Let Out? Will we survive the let out? That shit's fire. So that's all time, in my opinion, it's an all-time J. Cole song. So he does have good songs on there, but it ain't the whole album, and it ain't no classic, and it ain't nothing to where I could say, "Damn, he got us with the fall off, y'all. He got us with the fall off, bro. It's Cole, it's Jermaine." No. The Fallout is not that album. That ain't it, bro. Nah. So, if that's what you were trying to put out, I highly doubt it. I really doubt it, bro. The second disc, bro, that don't even sound like an album to me. That sound like some B-sides to me. I'm trying to look. Let me look and see what, because some of them songs on the disc 2 sounded like I just need to put something out into the world. It didn't sound like okay, like you got The Villas, right? Okay, The Villas is fire. That's fire. But all this other shit, nah, bro. That can't be what you meant to put out. It can't be. It just can't be. It cannot be. I refuse to believe that some of them songs, Let's go back to this one because I'm already getting depressed about this too. This one with the Eminem flow. Around the corner with gunflies and motor grass. Yeah. That shit was fire. What's it called? Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is you on this one? I was at the gas station, got a little bit of gas, and around the corner I saw this dude with his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's fire, bro. Like, so yeah, this one is great. This one was it felt like Cole. But like I said, even his last album, Might Delete Later, that's like, in my opinion, I loved everything about that album. I loved everything about Might Delete Later. Every track was, damn, this is Fayetteville right here, you know? And so to go from that to this is like, there's no way you meant to put this out. There's absolutely no way this is what you meant to say, I'm done with. I'm done with this is my last rap album. Nowhere. So, you know, it was good, but bro, Cole, I mean, you were supposed to be in the top 3. Nobody gonna be like that's not going to the Grammys. The fall off is not going to the Grammys. You will not hear that. No. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? How you gonna say you top 3? You can't be top 3 with that. No, sir. Anyway, like I said, definitely a good album. I mean, it ain't J. Cole could never be a bad rapper. He rappity scappity. But that album was no, not for me. I mean, it was a disappointment in my opinion. Moving on. The next album I want to talk about is this Joji album because this is something that Lux brought up on his final his final episode. He brought up Joji's album "Piss in the Wind." Yeah, he loved it, but me, look. eh. First of all, why is every song under 2 minutes long? Like 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute. What is this shit? Is that why he named it Piss in the Wind? Because his shit sound like pisses in the wind. Like, what the hell? Why is every song short as hell? It's almost like he didn't have enough in the tank for a whole song, so he just gave the little melody. It's like he had a bunch of melodies that he just wanted to get out there. But there are some good songs on there. I'll be honest. There are some songs on there that I was like, but again, uh, what was the album? I don't even remember the album he put out. Maybe the album right before this one. Amazing. Those were that last album he put out. That was he had ballads on there. If you're not alone, like you want me to, that's just fire. You know, songs like "Run," fire. I just think those are full songs. Those are full. Like you put a lot of thought into this. You know. Then you got this shit where it's just a bunch of little clips and shit. But there's this one song in there called "Silhouette Man." That shit. And then "Piece of You" with Giveon, fire. But Giveon, again, a lot of the features make the album for me, where it's like, oh, because you on a feature with somebody, you doing your best. But if you're not on a feature, you kind of just, doing whatever. All the features on the album, he going crazy because he's got to, you can't be in this, you got somebody else on the track. You can't just phone it in, right? But he got this song with just him on it called "Silhouette Man." This shit fire, bro. He got "I'm just a little birdie stuck in the nest." That shit fire, bro. I mean, weird, definitely weird. They you got a weird ass flow, but that shit hit. It hit. So that's my favorite song of "I'm just a little birdie stuck in the nest." I'm in my 30s, I'll do my best. Like shit like that. That shit fire. And uh, yeah, I love that song. So yeah, that's some shit I listen to for sure. Um, but again, as a whole, as an album, no, it's just some shit, bro. It ain't, that ain't his last album. He gonna put another album out. Yeah, it ain't nothing to be like, damn, this album you out here. Like, I don't know what Lux is talking. Me and Lux, bro, got drastically different tastes in things. You know, as I like I said, we know each other for 10 years. So as it as time moves forward, I'm starting to notice that me and him, our tastes are changing drastically. You know, a lot of the shit he into, I'd be like, okay, you know, but he'll be really into it. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So that is a big one. Like I was like, the hell? Joji? Nah, bro. That ain't no classic at all. That's just some shit to put on, you know? Anyway, last thing I want to talk about is women, right? As we always do. One thing I was thinking about, the level of comfort that you have with a girl can drastically change just off one key event. You could meet a girl and on one side, it's two different sides, right? On one side is this version of her that's so ephemeral and demure, and it's like, oh wow, I really like this person. She's all feminine and cute and honest and pure and all. And then there's side B where, oh, this is just a human being with a vagina now. This just this is just a person that put on makeup. So yeah, I gotta hope that everything I've learned about her is enough. Cause now I'm starting to find out who she really is. And it's that key event, in my opinion, is butthole. Butthole. When you see a girl booty hole for the first time, Think about that. Think about the first time you saw a girl you really like. I'm not talking about just having sex. I'm not talking about, oh, we had sex, because you can still hold on to that loving feeling for a long time after sex. Sex really is just an entry, a deeper, like diving into a pool. Oh, damn, this is a whole level down here. But when you see her butthole, bro, that should change you. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend pushing to see a girl booty hole. Because once you see that booty hole, yeah, this is different now. You can't hold on to what you thought you knew about her, and oh, nah. Cause some of us ain't even seen our own booty hole. Some of us haven't even seen our butt all the way. But you done seen Sadie's butt. You done seen Alicia booty hole. That means something, bro. That's a huge step for mankind. Once you see that. Cause you can't reverse it. You can't say, well, I still love you. No, you can't. You gotta either know or not know. You know? Once you get to that point, bro, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. I done been there. I done been to the booty hole and after booty hole. And it ain't the same. It ain't the same to go from booty hole to no booty hole. That's a drastically different world you're living in. You know? It ain't always pretty. It ain't always pretty. Even if the booty hole pretty, your future with her might not be. Because after you see the booty hole, bro, then you gotta start thinking about her as a human being. Like, ah, damn, she does like have the things that I have. She is like me. This isn't as drastic a difference as I thought. You know, like, damn, I'm just with a human being right now. It's not, think about all the things we put on women. Like, oh, she gotta be like this because I like this in my women. Then you eat that booty hole, you see that booty hole, whatever you see, whatever you doing with the booty hole, you done it. It's different. Things are so different now. You know, should really be drastically different. You know, but anyway, that's really it for the show, man. Like I said, the show is gonna change, bro, and it's gonna be. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where I didn't want it to happen this soon, but it was gonna happen. It was always bound to happen. You know, but uh, the show, I it's gotta go for a year at least. Yeah, I ain't gonna. We're not gonna do a lot of reevaluating it until we hit the year mark. You know, so uh, yeah, I just think that's just what we gotta do. It's gonna suck to have to drastically change it before we really even knew if our formula was working or not. You know, but like I said, I'm not gonna force nothing. The show cannot be for the show has to always be a chill thing, bro. A chill, honest thing, authentic thing. I'm not gonna force nothing to say, you know, um, yeah, I just want it to be this way. I'm not gonna do that. But I do have some interesting things that I've always wanted to do with the show that now I can really do. Like so, like I said, there's gonna be a lot more creativity from the show. Like it ain't gonna be. I think when it was a conversation, that was a good because we could just be natural. But apparently not. Apparently being natural was difficult. So now that it's no longer a strictly conversation, now we could do some more creative shit that I got at least a month of creative shit. I don't know if I have more than 10 episodes of creativity at this moment, So I think I do have to figure out how the show is gonna look with just one person on it. But I do got some special guests coming. I do plan on putting some special guests on here to talk about games and shit. So it's one of those things where I'm just like trying to figure out how to make the show something where it can sustain itself every week. Because right now it's like I don't really know how much of this can go every week. I don't know. But like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I'm just gonna try to soak up as much of I'm gonna try to put into this as much uh as many things that I would like to listen to on my own. You know, the only thing is I don't really I don't really listen to a lot of solo shows, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But the challenge is gonna be the greatest part, you know. Because the greatest love of all is inside of me. You know, I got everything here. You just got to figure out the format. And once the format is down, everything else will follow. But anyway, shout out to Raven-Symone. You know, I was thinking about her a lot, and everything that she went through as a cheetah girl and everything that she went through as That's So Raven. That shit's real. That wasn't just a TV show on Disney, a movie on Disney. That was real. And I just, throughout this whole ordeal, I was just thinking, what will Raven do? What will Raven say in this moment? How will Raven behave? And yeah, I think, at the end of the day, it is one of those things where, you know, you gotta push forward, you know. And we're gonna see. We're really gonna see how far we can really go. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the quote of the day, quote of the week, whatever the hell. I got this quote. Hold on. I'm just a little birdie stuck in the nest. That shit fire, bro. He really went stupid on that song. I got this quote, and I'm gonna read it as soon as I pull it up. And yeah, we're gonna end the show there. Um, hold on, where's it at? Okay, okay, okay. We got it, got it. This is a quote from a very beautiful woman. Don't spend all of your time trying to be like someone else because you can never be them and they can never be you. Okay? I don't want to be labeled gay. I don't want to be labeled a human being that loves humans. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. The beautiful Raven-Symone, y'all. Raven-Symone. The first quote is the most important one, though. Like I said, don't spend all of your time trying to be like someone else because you can never be them and they can never be you. That's real, man. I think a lot of people try too hard to be someone else. And what not to be someone else. They try too hard to be not them. And the idea of being them is scary, you know? But like I said, every human being is a planet. And you might just be looking at your planet the wrong way. You ain't on the right side of your planet, you know? Maybe you need to come out of the ground a little bit, move out of the equator a little bit, go to the North Pole, you know? Look at your planet a little differently because I think everybody has in them the ability to be unique. They just try to run away from it sometimes because it's scary, bro. It's scary to be you, man. Being you is hard, but once you unlock that U chip, once that U chip activate, it's over, bro. Anyway, that's the show. Like I said, we got another episode coming out later this week, and next week we're gonna try to do 2 episodes a week with just me, your boy, gamer ass gamer. And that's it. Peace.